Wake up, church. The hour has come for you to wake up from your slumber, because our salvation is nearer now than when we first believed. The night is nearly over, the day is almost here, so let us cast off the works of darkness and put on the armor of light.
Hi. It's December 25th. It's 4 o'clock in the morning. I just want to make a quick little video, and this would be a part 2 to the Christmas video, or Christmas video. The video I made the other day had a mistake in it, and of course me being new to this whole thing, I wanted to correct it. I said the Apostle John was the first pope. I don't know why it popped in my head that it was John. I know as soon as the words come out of my mouth it was a mistake. Obviously the Catholics think, not that it was true, that the Apostle Peter was the first pope. Obviously, I was telling you about the bones that are underground, and they have a little. I should have put a picture of it. But like I said, the Pope goes down and worships it, and it's very creepy. But I want to make sure that I made that correction, because it's very important. When they were doing some renovating at one time, they found these bones under the Vatican, but I assume that was probably one of the Christian martyrs, the many martyrs that they murdered, because the fragment they found would be a spike, and I think it was in a femur bone, and I think that's Peter, because there's a story that Peter, when he was crucified, that he didn't want to be crucified like Jesus, so they crucified him upside down. I don't know what to think of that story. But the thing I could tell you 100%, that if you read the Bible and you read the documentation of Peter's life, and in the Bible, certainly it would have been put in there that any time Peter was in Rome or any of that area, and he certainly wasn't. So the idea that if that happened, well, Satan likes to turn everything upside down. The idea that the Apostle Peter was crucified, which was a Roman thing to do, so you have them killing Peter, then lifting him up later in life as Pope. But of course, Jesus died by their hands, but he gave his life up freely. That's all prophecy. And the reason I brought up prophecy real quick, that'll be obviously one of my pages, is going into the biblical truth and to acknowledging that Jesus was who he said he was. The Son of God, and the Messiah, and that the idea that he rose from the dead through these prophecies that were in the Old Testament scriptures. But I got up this morning and God showed me something, and Talk about being the ultimate Grinch about me talking about Christmas this morning. I don't know, when I woke up last night, I heard it started hailing in Pittsburgh. I heard the hail in the window before I went to bed. So when I woke up, I don't know, I guess he was urging me to look outside. And there was snow everywhere. This is the first time there's been a lot of, physical snow on the ground, where it's very noticeable. Then he just put it in my head, and this is gonna sound really bad, but I'm done. I can't brush off God about certain little things that he says to me and shows me. Today, all over the news, all over certainly Pittsburgh, I told you that Satan is a deceiver. The master deceiver, Satan, is the master of lies. You're going to hear over and over again the term, "Oh, it snowed outside. It's a Christmas miracle." A Christmas miracle. I certainly won't be turning on the TV today. It's kind of going to be difficult because, I might be watching the football game today. That's something I kind of didn't want to get back into, but I've been watching football lately, and it's certainly a waste of time, and it's a distraction. There's a lot of distractions everywhere. But that's the thing, is I don't want to turn on TV today, but my neighbor will want to watch the football game, and it's kind of, I've been using that his time together with him, to spend with him. He's a good man. He's like a father figure, if not like a grandfather to me. We do stuff for each other. So I'm sure when I watch the TV eventually, with the football game today, I don't know where the game is, but I'm gonna hear over and over again, and you're gonna hear it all over today. It's a Christmas miracle. Well, guess what? I told you about Santa Claus, and Santa Claus is coming to town, and Satan giving the attributes of God to himself. Well, guess what? This is another one, and that's why it's going to be very difficult. A Christmas miracle. Now he does miracles. I just say, I hated the idea of looking outside and thinking that. Now, it's horrible to say. Because there's nothing wrong with the snow. Snow is not satanic. Playing in the snow is not satanic. It's just the idea of those words being put together. And certainly me realizing it when he got me up at 4 o'clock in the morning. The idea of the Christmas miracle. Look, guys, like I said, you put the armor on, the armor of God, and there's a lot of things I need to understand and do with making these videos. There's, taglines and stuff like that, because every time I end one of these videos, God gave me something a long time ago, and I will say it. And in the first video I created about the grace stone, I'm gonna call it. Jesus died and shed his blood, and that's the ultimate miracle. And he came back 3 days later and saved us, and that was his grace. Because we're not under the law. That's the ultimate miracle. But of course he's coming back. But going back to the idea of a tagline. Through his grace we live. That's the ultimate. Now I pray that these videos touch somebody. and they mean something to a lot of people because, like I said, I want to be very open in the way I talk, because there's somebody out there that probably might need that. I'm going to say that over and over again because, like I said, it's very difficult. I've been living without a church, and you need that fellowship. You need that church fellowship. And I haven't had fellowship in a while because, well, I've been going, like I said, to a Messianic church. I love being around these people. They're nice people, but at the same time, they don't believe the way I do. And that's very difficult, where you want to just scream what they're doing is, wrong. But they love Jesus. But you gotta throw all the, you gotta throw all these weird, not weird, but all these multiple, Jesus has multiple names. Yahweh, well, Yeshua, there's all the Hebrew names. And when you get into this Messianic movement, they'd rather say that than Jesus. But when I started learning about deliverance, which I want to create a page about deliverance, go to Omega Man Radio. Look that up, Omega Man Radio. And Omega Man has all these wonderful, I've been listening to him for years, and he has all these wonderful people on that do deliverance, all these pastors and women who do deliverance, wonderful teachers. But he does it on the air, deliverance on the air, and he casts out demons in Jesus' name. No other name but Jesus. And like I said, there's a lot of shows when he does this. If you look up Win Worley was an amazing deliverance minister, but of course it's not. Deliverance is the children's bread. Remember that. And that's the thing that's gone from all these churches. They don't do deliverance, healing, miracles. Those are the cheap people. Those are the things we're supposed to be doing. Jesus sent his disciples out to do that. But all these churches, and I crossed a man during the summer last year. Amazing man, and I realized, God used him because I never got baptized. And I did it in obedience. But he didn't believe in the spiritual gifts. He thought they died out with the apostles. That's ridiculous. Jesus still works today as he did back then. So everybody, I love you. And like I said, feel free to contact me. Go on to findingpeacewithjesus.org. There's a contact page. I'd love to hear from you. Get your thoughts on what I've been saying. But I'd like to eventually get together with everybody through this medium or a podcast and have fellowship, because we're going to need it. Going to need like-minded people that understand the truth, because in the end there's a remnant. God has a remnant, and that's important. So guys, I love you. I'll talk to you soon. Like I said, through his grace we've been saved. God bless.